There are many mysteries that have circulated for centuries, but among all of them, one stands out: the secret of the Bible. A secret that, if you understand it, can profoundly change the way you see life, how you connect with the world, and even how you see yourself within it. Now, what makes this secret even more fascinating is that it's not something easily found or superficial. It's not an obvious truth or a direct message. It's hidden in the lines, in the stories that you've probably heard many times, but never really understood what's behind them. And that's exactly what I'm about to reveal to you today. I invite you to look at the Bible not as an ancient book of stories and lessons, but as a map to understand something much greater, something that, if understood, can completely transform your perspective on life. The problem is that most people, when reading the Bible, try to find direct answers, easy answers. They look for rules or clear instructions on how to live life. And of course, the Bible offers teachings and directions, but what it really wants you to understand is much deeper. The real secret of the Bible is not about blindly following rules, but about understanding that the Bible is an invitation to a personal journey. And this journey, if done correctly, has the power to change the course of your life forever. What few people know is that the key to understanding this secret lies in the way you approach the Bible, in the intention with which you read its words. The Bible is not a book to be solved once and for all. It's a book that requires reflection, careful reading, and personal interpretation, because when you do this, you start to discover something much greater than just understanding words. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is this secret of the Bible that you're talking about? I understand your curiosity, and I'm going to tell you everything. But first, I need you to really pay attention to the next words. I want you to truly understand what I'm about to reveal. Imagine for a moment that you're holding a millennia-old book, full of stories passed down from generation to generation. These stories have something in common. They're not just historical or religious accounts, but symbols of something much bigger. They're a reflection of what's inside of you, what you feel, what you seek deep down in your soul. And that's what makes the Bible such a powerful book. It's a mirror. It reflects your doubts, your fears, your hopes, but also your answers. The secret lies exactly in this reflection, and that's what you need to learn to see. Now let's take a step back and look at one of the most emblematic and, at the same time, most enigmatic moments in the Bible, the story of Adam and Eve. This story, which many consider simple and straightforward, actually contains one of the greatest secrets the Bible has to offer. When you think of Adam and Eve, your mind probably goes immediately to the famous scene with the apple and disobedience. But what few realize is that this story is not just about disobedience. It's about the search for something deeper, something beyond rules and consequences. The story of Adam and Eve, when viewed from a new perspective, reveals the human quest for completeness, purpose, and connection. When Eve takes the forbidden fruit, she wasn't just disobeying a divine command. She was seeking something that she believed would complete her. She wanted to understand more, to know more, to be more. But what she didn't know is that this search, which seemed so innocent, would change everything. And this is the first crucial point to understand the secret of the Bible. The search for truth, the search for something greater, often comes with a price. The secret of the Bible, in fact, is exactly about this search. But what you may not have realized is that the Bible isn't telling us to search outside of ourselves, but within. The story of Adam and Eve, in reality, is a reflection of our own searches and choices. How many times throughout life have you looked for something outside of yourself, thinking that it would complete you? And when you found it, you realized that it wasn't enough, or that there was something else missing. The secret is this: the Bible teaches us that what we seek is within us, not outside. And when we begin to understand this, we start to see that every story, every parable, every verse is a clue to self-knowledge, to deep reflection about who we are and what we truly need. Now, instead of looking at the Bible as a book of rules, look at it as a guide for your own personal journey of discovery. And the most interesting thing is that as you start looking at the Bible's words differently, you'll realize something surprising. It starts to speak to you. And this conversation is not something literal, but something deeper, more spiritual. You no longer read the words with your eyes, but with your heart. And that's when the real secret of the Bible begins to reveal itself. It's not in the words themselves, but in what they awaken inside you. Let me tell you something that you may not have thought of before. The Bible is full of enigmas, yes, but these enigmas aren't meant to be solved once and for all. They are questions you should carry with you throughout your life, because these questions have the power to transform you. They are not definitive answers, but challenges that, when faced correctly, open doors to new understandings, new visions, and a new way of living. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the secret of the Bible isn't something that can be simply explained? Maybe the secret of the Bible is something you need to experience, not just study. And that's exactly the point. You can spend years reading and studying, but the real secret of the Bible isn't about acquiring more knowledge, but about letting that knowledge transform your life. Every story, every teaching, every character in the Bible has something to teach you. But you will only learn truly if you're willing to look inside yourself and reflect on what these stories mean for your personal life. I'll give one more example to illustrate this. Think about the story of Moses and the Exodus. Moses led the people of Israel out of slavery in Egypt. But what is this story really trying to teach us? It's not about the physical liberation of a people, but about the internal liberation we all need. Moses, with his faith and determination, shows us that true freedom comes when we're able to free ourselves from the internal chains that bind us. And these chains aren't made of metal or iron, but of fears, doubts, and limitations that we place on our own minds. Moses' secret is not about what he did for others, but about what he was able to do for himself. And this is something that we all need to understand. The true journey of liberation starts within us, and that's what the Bible teaches us. It shows us that external change can only happen when there is an internal transformation. The secret of the Bible, then, is an invitation for you to seek that transformation. And to seek that transformation, you don't need grand revelations or miracles. What you need is to look at the words of the Bible with new eyes, with an open heart, ready to receive the lessons it has to offer. And the most amazing thing is that when you do this, you realize that the Bible isn't speaking only about figures from the past, but about you, about your life, about your own challenges and victories. Now, looking at all of this, maybe you're wondering, how can I start looking at the Bible this way? The answer is simple. Start with intention. When you open the Bible, don't do it just as a regular reading. Do it with the intention of finding something that resonates with you, of looking for something that speaks directly to your heart. When you do this, you'll see that the words will begin to come to life and take on depth in a way you never imagined. And finally, I want to hear from you. What do you think is the true secret of the Bible? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you have suggestions for topics for future videos, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with anyone you think needs to hear this message. Together, we can continue this journey of discovery and growth.